So the beer is empty. Let's drink this up. Get drunk as fuck.
No!
3 pints is okay.
Excuse me.
Yes, sir?
Oh, yes, sir?
Give me another beer, dude. Give everyone another beer. Let's party, guys.
I think you've had enough, don't you?
Hey, listen. Is it supposed to taste the way it does?
Gopaline stout is brewed from the finest chemicals in the world. I'm sorry, but the pump appears to be broken.
I can fix it for you.
I don't think so. This is a job for a professional electrician. Oh well, at least the glass washer is still working. It's not my day, is it?
No, it's not your day, man.
No!
Look at it. Beer is empty. The dishwasher stopped working.
Thanks.
Alright, so now I got the chance to do something.
No!
Let's see if this one is the problem. Electronic shit.
It was impossible to return the switch to its original position. I tugged at the trapdoor, but it was locked from the inside.
Alright. So that doesn't matter. Let's talk to this guy.
Hey, McGuire.
What do you want to know?
Nothing.
See you later, kid.
Okay, mister.
Okay, so I have to do something inside the bar to get him distracted. The good old bartender. I'm a professional. Make way. No customers behind the bar.
Get out.
I could try to fix your glass washer.
Oh no, not unless you're a qualified electrician.
I am. I got a Kruger. This one. Gruber. What's the name?
Excuse me.
Yes, sir?
It just so happens I'm an electrician. Check out my credentials.
Well, now, isn't that marvelous? Here's a house bedeviled with faulty wiring of a wayward nature. Here's you, an electric man, with a little plastic card to prove it. I still want to see what you can do before I let you touch me beer pumps. You can make a start on the glass washer. And when you finish that, will you take a look at the pumps?
Yeah. Well. It seems to be a problem in the basement, sir.
I used all my knowledge of electrical engineering to examine the plug.
Yeah.
Seemed fine to me.
Yeah, put it in, put it out. Yeah.
There was nothing physically wrong with the glass washer.
Okay. Well, a piece of string maybe. See if we have a connection.
I replaced the fuse with a piece of wire. I knew it was dangerous, but I was desperate enough to disregard everything I knew about standard safety precautions. Excuse me, Mr. Leary. I fixed your glass washer, no problem.
Bingo! And a blessing to all the saints. A free half pint to that man on the house. Now, Could you take a look at the beer pumps?
Well, I guess so, but I'm not making any promises.
If you can't fix them, I'll have a riot on me hands.
The pumps are in the cellar, right?
That's right. You'll find a flashlight down there somewhere.
Move your fat ass.
No!
Thank you.
Careful!
Alright, let's go down.
What a dumb place to store a flashlight. A dark cellar. The only way I was going to find anything down there was to feel around.
Isn't that lovely? What do we have here?
I pushed the lever and heard the grating of metal, but nothing appeared to happen.
Well, I guess it's the trapdoor. So let's go up again. Maybe we can get some fresh daylight. Yay!
No!
It's gonna swag walk out of the bar. Goodbye, laddies. Okay, open this shit.
I lifted the trap door and an overpowering smell of stale beer rose from the cellar below. I looked down on a stone-tiled floor, way too far to jump.
Ooh!
Excuse me.
There was a nasty feeling in my guts I usually associated with light opera. It was Khan. What's the problem?
And
Did you see what happened here a few minutes ago?
What was that?
A man was involved in an unfortunate accident.
I didn't see anything.
What about the boy?
He doesn't know anything either. The kid, well, you know how it is in these rural communities. Not enough genes to go round. I prayed McGuire had the sense to keep his mouth shut. Was the guy hurt bad?
He's been taken care of, but he thinks he dropped a small parcel. You didn't happen to find it, did you?
If I had, I would have taken it to the police.
Of course. Thank you.
creepy ass motherfucker. Woo! Well, that was close.
It wasn't my nerves that stopped me.
Well, it's down in the basement. I promise. Well, now he has seen my face. That's not a good sign. Yeah, it's the second time he sees my face, actually. When I was drinking coffee in Paris, and now here. There, we got it.
Then I noticed a flash of light. Something sparkling beneath the open trap door.
There, we got it.
It was Peagram's gem, all right. A large, uncut blue stone. As I held it aloft, I realized the fascination it could command. I guess I was already under its spell.
Did you find it?
What?
Whatever you was looking for.
Yeah. Listen, McGuire. I want you to keep this to yourself.
No problemo. Just chuck us up a crate of lager.
No way! You're not old enough.
We can sell it and make some cash.
Forget it, kid. I couldn't betray Mr. Leary's trust.
I could, for sure. That old misery guts deserves it.
If you want to do me a favor, keep a lookout for that guy in the suit.
Okay. But it'll cost you a packet of chips.
Oh, and shout if you see that Ferrari.
Anything more?
I searched the trash, but there was nothing useful there.
Nope, nothing useful. Got a mop. That's a good way to keep away.
I looked among the cleaning
goats.
materials, but saw nothing I could use.
Do we have chlorine? Can I throw it in his face? Into his eyes.
I looked among the cleaning materials, but saw nothing I could use.
Oh man. Dripping water.
The faucet creaked, coughed and spewed out a stream of rusty-colored water.
Oh, looks clean to me. Alright. So now what? Can I clog this shit? No? That's fun. Well, that's good.
I held the towel under the faucet and soaked it with water.
What for?
I shut off the faucet as tight as I could, but it kept on dripping.
That's not my problem. So where's the freaking pumps?
No! Apple!
Excuse me?
Yes, sir?
No.
I don't want anything.
I'll just get...
No!
But I got a flashlight. I got a flashlight.
Hey! Hello there again, mister.
Alright, so
nothing.
nobody wants to talk to me. Alright, I get it. This is dangerous. Don't do this. But I have to try it. Nope. Okay. Can I go down there? Well, that's weird.
It wasn't my nerves that stopped me jumping. It was my damned legs. They wouldn't move.
Alright, okay. Let's talk to McGuire.
Hey, McGuire.
What do you want to know?
Ugh.
See you later.
Okay, mister.
Yeah, see you later, mate. Well, when I was a kid, when I played this one, I also had problem with this puzzle, and I knew it was something about taking the rope over to this one here, and yeah. So basically, that you have to do is to trick the freaking goat by doing fast commands like this. But no, okay, let's do it again. So you have to trick the goat by doing like this. Like so. And, yeah.
The rope by which the goat was tethered had become tangled on the old plowshare.
Oh, perfect. Goodbye, goat. There you go for being stubborn. Now I got the flashlight, so I can now see down here. Ooh, what do we have here?
I placed my fingers and thumb into the holes in the wall. Nothing happened.
Well, let's wait with that.
I tried in vain to move the panel.
The panel is stuck. Let's see what we got here.
The only object on the table which interested me was a small sack.
Take it.
As I dipped my fingers into the soft white powder, I realized what it was. Plaster of Paris. I'd used it in kindergarten to make casts of animal paw prints.
Oh, so cute, Georgie. Okay, so anything else? No. Nothing. Let's put it in there, maybe. Nope. Maybe I have to use. Holy shit! What the fuck is that? Nope.
I tried.
You tried.
The statue was too heavy to lift. It overbalanced into the sand.
Oops. You raise me up so I can be on.
As I swung the stone upright, I noticed it had left a pattern of holes in the sand.
Ah, and now we put this kindergarten shit.
I sprinkled the plaster on the sand until the holes were filled.
Now I have to put water on it, right? Yep.
I smoothed the plaster level with the sand. It was my first experience of home improvement.
But yeah. Yep. Okay, so let's go and find some water. Yeah. Well, that's easy. No problemo. Meh. Oh, poor goat. Thank you. Of course. Hurry, George. You don't got all day. You can always ask this gentleman if he can sneeze into the sand. I left the water on. Perfect.
I held the towel.
Yeah, I know. I love the happy music when you do something right. It's a really good puzzle though. It's pretty tricky, but it kind of makes sense. That's what I like with these Brokensword games, is because the puzzles they're not crazy. If you ever played Monkey Island and you do those puzzles, sometimes it's so hard. It's not even logic, you know. And it's the same with another game that I played, Deponia. Deponia has also these very tricky puzzles that doesn't make sense at all. This is logic, and I love it. Alright, so let's put on water. Squeeze that shit. Perfect.
The trickle of water was quickly absorbed by the plaster.
Pick it up. Maybe it's too fast though.
I eased the solid piece of plaster from the sand. Underneath, it had formed a perfect copy of the statue.
Nice. Put it in.
The hardened plaster cast fitted snugly into the 5 matching sockets. There was a soft thud, then silence.
The door opened. The panel is now open. Alright. Get down there, Georgie. Spooky. The ghost of Lachman. Where is he? Ooh, cutscene.
So, where did you stay last night?
At McDevitt's. I got to drinking with Doyle and a couple of the guys.
That explains
Stop.
why you look so ill today. Did you get any sleep at all?
Not much. I had to share the room with another guy.
Did he snore?
Hardly. He was dead. Then Leary woke me in the middle of the night to help bail out the cellar.
The cellar was flooded?
Yeah, some idiot had left the faucet running.
And you say Pegram has disappeared?
Without a trace. But my visit wasn't a complete waste of time.
Pegram's gem?
The Templars gem. Whoever Jacques Marquet is, he's in for a disappointment.
Jacques Marquet?
He's the guy who should have collected the gem from Fitzgerald.
I've been reading about Pegram in this magazine.
Another clue.
The media got its claws on him.
Yeah, if I was his agent, I'd get him to lose the pipe.
That dig must have been pretty important to him. He resigned his chair at Durham University to go to Ireland. And now he's disappeared.
Montage.
See what you can find out about Professor Pegram.
I'll speak to the university. What are your plans?
I want to find out who, what, or where Montfaucon was. All I've got to go by is the name and a picture of a hanged man.
Montfaucon.
What do you know about Professor Pegram?
I've seen a television program, Pegram's Past. He's written a book, The Crusader Families of Ireland.
Alright.
Let's take another look at the manuscript.
Well, that one I got. And this one I got. So now it's time for the mirror.
The Night Scroll bears a phrase in Latin. Through my teachings, you will be enlightened.
Well, alright.
I can't sit here all day, much as I'd like to.
Okay. Don't forget to look for Lobineau at the Kron Museum. And why don't you see if Rosso has heard anything?
Okay. Anything else I can do for you while I'm out? Shopping, a trip to the laundromat?
Just take care of yourself.
Oh, he was just trying to be nice. But she's also nice. She wants us to take care of ourselves. Alright, let's check out the museum. Is it time to close yet? So I can Steal the tripod. Yes.
I beg your pardon. Are you André Lobineau?
That's me. You want my autograph?
No, I was told you may be able to help me.
Help?
My name is George Stobart. I'd like your professional opinion.
Well, okay, shoot.
Well, this prick, I have a small memory. It's pretty vague though, but I think Nico and he has something to do with each other. I don't like that.
Does the name Montfaucon mean anything to you?
Sure, it was the most grisly spectacle in Paris until the Revolution.
A public toilet?
Montfaucon was the place of execution for many thousands. A dark temple of death, with row upon row of arches, each one framing a grim exhibit. Scores of rotting corpses swung on creaking rope, while the crows devoured their flesh.
That explains the image of the hanged man. I found a reference to Montfaucon in Ireland, in a village called Lochmarn.
Lochmarn? That's where Pegram was digging.
That's right. He'd left the excavation before I arrived. Do you know Pegram well?
Not really. I met him at a conference. I would have liked to talk to him in depth, but I didn't have time.
When was this?
Oh, back in the summer, July, I think.
The second week of July?
Maybe. Yes, it was, just before Bastille Day.
So Pegram was in Paris at the same time as the other victims.
Pardon? Victims of what?
Nothing. Just thinking aloud.
Murder.
Where was the site of Montfaucon?
To the northeast, near the Canal Saint-Martin, but there's nothing there now. The old gibbet was torn down during the Revolution.
What can you tell me about Philippe le Bel?
He was responsible for the extermination of the Knights Templar.
I know that, but why was Philip so hot to get rid of them?
Mostly because he wanted to get his hands on their treasure. He had an enormous debt and a lifelong war with England to fund. The trouble was, the Templars were a highly respected holy order.
If the Templars were so powerful, how did this Philippe dude wipe them out?
By underhanded, dishonorable means, of course. The Pope was Clement V, a Frenchman.
French, huh? Handy for Philippe.
Fate had nothing to do with it. He was Philippe's puppet, planted to further his political ambitions. Philippe wanted the wealth of the Templars and used Clement to get it.
So what was Philippe's plan? What happened?
Sealed orders were sent out all over France, not to be opened until the appointed day. That day was Friday, July 13th. That's the origin of our superstition regarding that date. At dawn, throughout the whole of France, the Templars were arrested. It was the biggest bust in the history of the world.
What happened to the Templars after their arrest?
Philippe was out for blood, so he handed the Templars over to the Inquisition. Not surprisingly, they confessed to a sensational and sordid list of blasphemies.
Like what?
Oh, the sort of things you read about in the gutter press. Devil worship, lewd sexual practices, spitting on the Holy Cross, that kind of thing.
Well, that must have given their lawyers some headaches.
Whether or not the accusations were true, this was not good publicity. Most of the charges were probably cooked up, but so were the Templars, literally. Hundreds of them were found guilty of heresy and flamed grilled at the stake. They died protesting their innocence.
I love how dramatic he is when he tries to explain stuff for me.
But surely Philippe had no proof of his charges against the Templars.
A man will admit anything under torture. The Inquisition fabricated some nonsensical demon called Baphomet, and then suggested to their victims that this was what they worshipped.
But they didn't have to agree.
The records show a Templar coming to trial with both feet burnt off. Fragments of flesh and charred bone falling from the stumps. What would you not admit to stop such torment?
So there was no truth at all in the Baphomet accusations?
Not a shred. Almost every victim described the idol differently. No, Baphomet never existed outside the sick minds of the Inquisitors.
So Philippe stole the Templars' riches, huh?
Oh no, they weren't stupid. The king's troops marched first on the temple in Paris, then to the Templar home port at La Rochelle. There was no trace of the treasure, and the fleet of the Knights Templar had set sail.
La Chorelle, dramatique.
I'd like your opinion on a medieval manuscript.
Vraiment? Do you have it with you?
No, it's too fragile. And besides, there are certain people who'd stop at nothing to get their hands on it.
Intriguing. Do you have a copy of the text?
There isn't much, only a few Latin phrases. I was kind of hoping you'd help decipher the pictures.
Without seeing the manuscript, that's a tall order.
Just tell me one thing. What does the image of two men riding on the same horse suggest to you?
The Knights Templar. Does the Templar seal appear on this manuscript? I'd love to see that for myself.
Of course you do.
Can you tell me anything about the Knights
You can
Templar?
steal my girlfriend.
I sure can, Georgie. Soldiers, diplomats, mercenaries, monks, bankers, you name it, the Templars fit the bill. The greatest fighting force in Christendom, the militia of Christ.
Jeez. How did the Templars get their name?
From the building in which they set up their headquarters. The King of Jerusalem gave them part of a mosque on the Temple Mount. It was said to have been the site of the original Temple of Solomon. The order became known first as the Knights of the Temple, and later as the Knights Templar.
You're a mine of information, Andre.
Glad to be of help, Georgie.
Georgie.
How come the Templars became so wealthy?
There was a constant stream of new recruits to their ranks, many from noble families. They were required to swear a sacred oath of poverty, chastity, and obedience. So their money, goods, and lands were donated to the order. The Templars soon held land in France, Scotland, England, Spain, most of Europe, in fact. The poor Knights of Christ became the wealthiest power in Christendom.
Is it true the treasure of the Knights Templar was never found?
Who knows? So little knowledge of what really happened remains. Or, if it does, the truth has never been made public.
What do you mean by that?
The Templars have attained mythological status, like the King Arthur of the Britons. There are people even now who say the Templars still exist.
Do you think that's likely?
No, not for a minute.
The manuscript is being looked after by a friend.
In Paris?
Yeah, not far from here, in fact.
Well, just give me the address and I'll come round and take a look.
I'm not so sure about that. Maybe I should check with her first.
A female friend?
Yeah, she's a woman. Maybe it was my imagination, but I noticed a predatory look in his eye.
Yeah,
Suddenly,
that's a fucker.
this friendly historian had turned into the big bad wolf.
Hey, don't you touch her.
This friend, who has the manuscript,
Oui, the anonymous girlfriend.
she lives at 361 Rue Jarry.
I know it well. I'll drop by. Just as soon as I can.
Yeah, you sneaky turd.
Thanks for your help, Andre.
You're welcome.
Well, I need this one still. Okay, let's wait for the next episode. Well, thank you so much, guys, for watching me play Brokensword Shadow Templars. In the next one, we continue our journey. Until then, may the pixels be with you.